What is up, my Storm RighteousRaikou, discharging a brand new episode of This Week in WWE, joined by your boy Conscious.
Hello.
So we have a lot, to get into this week, and I just want to real quick say sorry about no upload. Last week,
We were busy, bitches.
Basically, and there was actually a lot of title changes that happened last week. And we'll explain them as we go along when they pop up on Survivor Series. But with all that said, let's get into the first thing that happened this week, which our week starts on Saturday this week because of NXT TakeOver War Games, which our first match was Cassius Ohno versus Lars Sullivan. And it was a pretty decent match. I won't say it was anything stellar, but I had no problems with it.
It was okay. It went as I expected it to go. Lars Sullivan squashing, blah blah blah.
Personally, I wouldn't say it was a squash per se. I'd say it's more not because it was more enhancement. It's not helpful to say squash in NXT.
There are certain matches. There are squashes in NXT. I'm sorry, there are squashes.
I know, but what I'm saying that the term squash hurts more.
I would agree this was an enhancement match. Yes, I would agree with that.
And you know what the thing, like, I just want them to do something good with Cassius Ohno for once. He's a talented athlete.
So you want to get signed, Chris?
He's gonna leave WWE?
Oh no, worse.
He's gonna go to main roster and get buried.
No, worse. He's going to stay at NXT, and he's just pretty much going to be putting over superstars consistently.
That's upsetting.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, we have Hideo Itami at 205 Live, so, I mean, there's shedding a tear right there. How many matches will it take before Hideo Itami breaks his leg again?
That's not funny.
It's going to be 5 matches. Watch. I'm right. I'm right. After 5 matches, he's injured again. But anyhow, we get into the next match, which I honestly think was probably match of the night, which is
no question about it. It was match of the
night. What's up?
There's no question about it. Match of the night.
Yeah, Aleister Black versus Velveteen Dream. This match, I want to say it was, if not a 5 out of 5, it was really close to a 5 out of 5. Like, it's a close to a 5-star match. Like, the psychology, the
lead up to the match and all that was beautiful. The whole encounters they had, everything was really good.
Ending, like, after the match was finished, the way they ended it was beautiful. But I mean, there were so many good spots.
These two for these two first time ever fighting, it felt like they have been fighting before. They had an ongoing feud, and it was beautiful. I very much enjoyed it.
I honestly think Patrick Clark, which is the Velveteen Dream, he was also on the most recent season of Tough Enough, and it shows that he actually has potential. Like,
I honestly think with the way he performed that night, I'm going to be honest with you. He made that match what it was. Honestly.
I think, I wouldn't say it's just him, just because it is Aleister Black.
No. Aleister Black does what he always does. But Velveteen Dream brought an anchor to that match. Everything from his tights with him, his face, and Aleister's face on it, his antics, Aleister mocking his movement. He's marking Aleister move. Everything about that match was good to me. I thought both of them put on a hell of a show, and Velveteen Dream proved himself to have something. He has it.
He has the it factor.
Yeah, and he will. If he keeps up his wrestling as like his gimmick, then he has a future in WWE.
Yeah, I highly agree with that. Honestly, they both have a really good future.
Yeah, my only thing is, I'm scared for him to ever go to that main roster because we've seen what happened to NXT talents that goes to the main roster.
I
They're
mean,
usually hit or miss. Hopefully he's a hit because he is great and I want to see him thrive.
so I'm going to squeeze this one bit of news because you just remind me of main roster of people from NXT. I heard new rumors spreading about that actually. So originally the plan for Royal Rumble was supposed to be Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor, and then that got scratched because Vince doesn't believe in Finn Balor anymore.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I
Because
don't
mean,
know.
I honestly think that'd be a decent match. I wouldn't say give.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't say to bring Demon Balor in it, just because.
Oh no. If it was Demon Balor, then the thing is, I don't see Finn winning the title.
Oh
If
yeah,
he wants to do
that's
it,
what I'm saying. If he versus Brock Lesnar, he can't bring out the demon because if I were in that situation of creative, I would want to protect that part of the gimmick as much as possible.
oh no, for sure, because the point of the demon is undefeated, has yet to lose.
He's yet to lose on the main roster. He's only lost once on NXT.
Who did lose to NXT?
Samoa Joe.
Oh, oh.
At the Hell in a Cell match in no, it was a steel cage match in Dallas, or was it Houston? It was one of the two, where
Dallas.
he was dressed up as the Chainsaw Massacre.
Dallas.
Yeah, it was that one. He came out as a Demon Balor and he lost. But that's Joe's the only person who was ever able to defeat the Demon, and I hope it stays the same. Or if they just wash the tide with that, that's even better. But that's my mini rant of the day. Of I really am upset with how they're handling Finn. But anyhow, we're gonna get right into the next match, which was Nikki Cross versus Peyton Royce versus Ember Moon versus Kairi Sane for the NXT Women's Title. And
they went safe.
Yeah,
the safe bet.
The safe bet, and I honestly think that it was a decent match all in all.
I for me personally, I thought the match fell a little flat because on my predictions. You can check it out on youtube.com/The Nest. Check it out.
Don't you dare plug in my damn channel.
Which we're plugging my motherfucker. We talked about those four women have the potential to put on match of the night, match of the weekend, honestly, because they all four are great wrestlers, great talent. Can you hear the radio in the background?
Yeah. But it's fine. Just keep going.
Okay. All four of them are great wrestlers and talents. They had the potential to steal the show, and honestly, they had good spots, but overall, the match kind of fell flat for me.
Yeah, the problem is, like, I know they could have stole the spotlight, but I think the problem is with a lot of, like, the more people you add to the match, the harder it is to balance out the right formula, and I think that was the case with this. If you had a 1v1 match with, like, Ember Moon and Kairi Sane, you would have extreme amounts of chemistry. But once you add four people in a ring, it's hard to kind of balance out the timing. Like it's not impossible to get the perfect pacing for a Fatal 4-Way match, but it's really difficult to do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, Ember Moon hitting essentially a double Eclipse, which everyone's saying it only hit one person, but actually hit two. Because the way Peyton Royce positioned Nikki Cross, when Ember Moon, like Nikki Cross, kind of still was like in a weird precarious position of, she kind of was holding Peyton Royce's jaw, and then Ember Moon grabbed the base of Nikki Cross's jaw, so essentially it was like a double stunner. But I mean, that was a decent spot. I mean, that's really the only good spots of the whole match. Like the amazing spots, you should say. Not that there wasn't any goods, but it was an alright match. I honestly think there's gonna be a program down the line with like Ember Moon and the rest of these on one-on-ones, and I really appreciate that. Because Peyton Royce, she's proven she knows how to do. She performs very well. Kairi Sane, yes. Everyone knows she's amazing at what she does. Nikki Cross, I've never been a fan of Nikki Cross, to be honest, but it's not that I don't respect what she does. She can perform well. It's just some of her programs kind of fell flat. And then I'm waiting until Shayna Baszler comes out and makes her NXT debut, because Ember Moon can have really big challenge from Shayna Baszler, if the Women Classic tells anything. But with that, we bring into the next match, which was Drew McIntyre versus Andrade Cien Almas, accompanied with Zelina Vega, for the NXT title. And the match was aight.
I agree. We were talking about this. Drew kind of shit the bed in that match. Not gonna lie to you, dude.
Yeah, but it wasn't necessarily his fault.
Oh no, we talked about
it. Hurt. He got hurt.
No. It wasn't the injury. This was before. He didn't get injured till the end of the match. He was kind of throwing a baby fit. Because I don't know why he was, but he was throwing a baby fit because he did a bunch of he was very he felt very lazy in that match. And almost seemed like he was giving his all in that match, but Drew seemed like he was just being very lazy.
Because the way I think I saw it, because we're discussing how apparently Almas was supposed to win the title regardless.
Yes,
and I think it's because McIntyre just won the title last takeover, and now he has to drop it and feed it to Almas, who's going to feed it.
No. Yeah. Which I think I do agree. That's why he is throwing his baby fit, yeah. But. In my opinion, you're a professional wrestler, my dude. I understand you're not happy about it, but this is the way it rolled. It's not like you were out of the title picture completely, whatever. No, this was just temporarily, my dude.
Yeah.
You shouldn't throw a baby fit about that.
Yeah. So, for those who don't know, basically Drew McIntyre got hurt at the end of the match, where there's the double hammerlock DDT from the top rope. On the side of the ring.
Yeah,
and
he pushed. When he pushed, I'm guessing he landed wrong, and
he landed on his bicep.
Yeah, that's a big part because of Drew. Because if you saw, he had crouched his body in when Almost went for it, and that's from him being lazy with it, and he kind of hurt himself.
Yeah, it is his fault, but at the same time, and it just, I don't know. I just don't like Almas.
Yeah.
But that's my biased opinion. So that time match was and then we got to the final match of the night, which actually was really good, which was the War Games match of Team Sanity versus the Undisputed Era versus Authors of Pain, accompanied with Roderick Strong. And that was 30 to 40 minutes of glory.
Oh, that was a decent match.
Once Sanity was finally in, that's when things got interesting.
I thought it was weird. They deviated so much from the original War Games. I think the match would have played a little bit better if it didn't deviate so much.
What was deviated?
For one, in the original War Games match, there was no open top ring, which I understand that part because they wanted to let them have more spots off the top of the cage, whatever, right?
Oh yeah.
But the whole if you escape your team's disqualified was weird for one. And in the original War Games, what they did was they released people one at a time, correct?
Yeah, because it was 2 teams, not 3.
Yeah, I know. No. Original War Games had more people than that, more than just 2 people.
No, but it was always 2 teams.
Yeah.
It wasn't multiple teams with more than 3 people each. It was it was a weird number of teams, a weird number of members. So, I just don't think the dynamic would have worked if it was 1 by 1. To be honest, it would have dragged a lot more. And that's at least the way I see it. But I at least I did appreciate when Sandy finally got released. They had Killian Dane run down and get out all the weapons and make everything a lot more interesting. But I mean, for a War Games match, this is like for the new era, this is actually pretty good, and I hope they actually start to bring back these kind of old matches, as long as they're not freaking a hay bale match. Please, for the love of God, don't bring that back.
Please bring it back. We need a hay bale match. I need it in my life.
No, you don't.
No, I totally do, bro. What are you talking about?
You're saying you like that shit? Are you kidding me?
Oh, yep. Best match.
I'd rather see Kenta wrestle a blow-up doll than watch another hay bale match.
Oh, wait. We can arrange that one, to be honest.
Listen, Kota Ibushi done it too many times.
We can definitely arrange Kenta fighting a blow-up doll.
Over the weekend, on Sunday, I decided, like, oh, so let me see how when those matches played out. So I looked at Kota Ibushi and what his match looked like with the blow-up doll. I love how they send, like, they send crew members to throw the blow-up doll at him for running spots.
Yep.
It's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
The only thing I've seen better, Kenny Omega versus the 9-year-old.
Yo, that kid got rocked.
That kid, that was the highlight of the kid's life. You got to fight with Kenny Omega before he was giant.
Yo, that kid got hit with the massive super kick. Like, that sounded like a concussion and a hand grenade.
That kid's our role model.
Yo, that kid's more of a man than both of us.
Yo, that kid's solo super kick.
But, so that's the end of NXT. All in all, I think for War Games, it was, for the whole pay-per-view, it was not their best work, but I wouldn't say it was terrible.
I would agree with you, Chris.
There was definitely highlights of the night. I'd say if there's one thing you have to go watch for War Games, you gotta watch Aleister Black versus Velveteen Dream. Hands down, you gotta watch it.
Yep.
These two are going to be the definition of NXT for the next 6 months. Even if they're not in the same program, they're going to be the definition of what NXT is. So, going to the next day, we got Survivor Series, which I actually ended up missing the pre-show because I just got home from like New Jersey that day at like 5 o'clock, like 4 o'clock or so, and I passed the hell out.
Okay, people, so, TLDR, nothing happened. Yeah, no one cared.
Because I was able to read the pinpoints. I still watched the whole actual pay-per-view. I only missed the pre-show. But there was Elias versus Matt Hardy. Elias went over. Breezango versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Sami Owens won. And then Kalisto versus Enzo for the Cruiserweight title. Enzo ended up winning. These were all very, very unimportant matches that we all see. That we all saw were coming. At least the first two matches, those were just added on as filler the last minute. But Kalisto and Enzo, it was just a pointless match. I just want that Kalisto is just over and done with, and then Enzo, he's as entertaining as watching paint dry. But
agreed.
So getting into the actual event of the evening, we have The Shield versus New Day, and honestly, this was a good program.
Like I told you, this is one of my two matches of the night.
I wouldn't say my personal match of the night was. I'll get into it later, but because it was towards the end of the card.
What's your the
Lesnar and Styles?
Yeah,
that was my personal favorite.
Yeah, I would agree. I went into this match thinking the two tag matches were going to highlight.
Oh, and you're completely correct on that they were going to highlight because the tag team, they're the workhorses of WWE. And the Shield and New Day, that they didn't fail to impress. There was a lot of good spots.
They
Especially
did.
with what's up.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to take my bad, bro.
Oh, so with there's definitely a lot of good coordination with New Day, where as soon as they take out Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, they immediately turn over to a prone Roman outside the ring. They're just like, go focus on him, and they all just went a Wolfpack mentality on him. So like
Yep.
it added up perfectly, and the better people ended up going over, which was the Shield, and that there I saw no other way of them doing that, because there's no way New Day would beat the Shield,
No, no.
because New
I
Day
would
can
say
eat a
that.
loss.
No,
New Day,
the thing is,
it,
I was gonna say, it's not that the New Day could beat the Shield. It's the Shield needed that one more.
that's what I meant. My wording was not. It
That's
was. Um,
I'm sorry. The They start off a show, get the crowd pumped as hell with a great match. Because honestly, for the past, I want to say
6 months, I say, because like Money in the Bank, I think is, or right before Money in the Bank is when they kicked into high gear. Wait,
no,
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 it was
not even
before
high
Money in the
gear.
Bank too, right? Because Payback.
Yeah, yeah. Like most pay per views, they have been kicking off the show, and they have set the standard for the entire show.
Well, yeah, because Usos and literally the probably the best rivalry in WWE for this year, like rivalry of the year, is Usos versus New Day. I want to say that's probably rivalry of the year.
Uh,
Because think about it, they did not have really one bad program of their whole series that lasted many moons. Like their program lasted like 5 or 6 months.
yep. And it's gonna come back eventually.
Oh, I know, but you know what? They're doing the smart thing of putting it on hold, so they let it go
Yep.
stale. Which I couldn't agree more with that choice, just because it's just such they're so talented. But before we
Bro.
can literally go on this
Hey,
for
bro,
like 20 minutes.
bro. Talk a little bit without me. Keep going, but I gotta go get the baby.
Okay. So really just to kill time while he while he does something in the meantime. So with the New Day and the Shield, it's at least with the New Day, they've been performing countless like I'd say almost match of the year contenders, especially SummerSlam. They were electric. Payback, they were amazing. Money in the Bank, that every single pay per view they've been on, they didn't drop the ball at all. It's phenomenal. And that like it goes for New Day and Usos. Those two are the best at what they do. The Shield, they need to build up more, considering they took a 3-year hiatus. It might be a little more, might be a little less, from being a team. So they need to actually make them a solidified team again. Hopefully down the line we'll actually see the Bar take on Ambrose and Rollins again, so that way we actually have what the Shield was originally, which was one person holding the undercard title and the tag team, and then the other two hold the tag team titles, and then you have the Shield again. But these two are just fantastic. It's hard not to raise them, because as much as I hate Roman Reigns, it's hard to deny that at least within the Shield, he is, I wouldn't say he's really the backbone, because really Seth Rollins carries most of it. Roman Reigns is kind of just there to just go ooh-ah and just spear and powerbomb, and that's it. But it was just amazing.
Oh, sorry about that, bro.
Okay, like I kind of tried to ramble about the Shield and New Day, and I was just like, yeah, this isn't gonna work well.
No, I was like, just keep going, just keep moving forward, keep talking about matches.
Well, I still want that. I at least want to wait for you so that way we keep going through the card.
Yeah, the New Day, that was great.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Um,
That probably, in my opinion, my match of the night, and this might be because I'm a big fan of the New Day, but that was my match of the night personally.
I would highly agree with you that it was one of the big matches of the night.
Yeah. And I, like you said, I think it was three matches in particular.
Yes.
On the Survivor Series card made the night.
Like I wouldn't say this card was necessarily weak. Like
no,
I would say this is close to like a strong Mania card. For some of the matches. Some of the matches were close to Mania.
Okay, yes. The Shield New Day.
I will edit that statement to say some of the matches.
Yes.
I obviously do not include any pre-show matches in my statement.
Yes. Okay.
So, moving on, we have the Raw Women's Survivor Series match, which was Alicia Fox as captain, Nia Jax, Asuka, Sasha Banks, Bayley versus Becky Lynch, Natty Hart, Carmella, Tamina, Naomi.
I'm gonna say this, that for me personally, that match fell flat.
It did fall flat, but you know what? I'm just happy Asuka was the sole survivor. That's.
Oh no! After my theories were debunked, where Asuka didn't get eliminated before the match, I was like, yeah, they have to win. So.
Yeah, nothing was spectacular about the match, but nothing was absolutely horrendous. So it's middle of the road.
Oh no! There were certain things that were horrendous for me personally.
Specify.
Huh?
Specify.
One thing that really pissed me off. Why the fuck did Becky Lynch get eliminated by a fucking roll-up? A fucking roll-up?
I guess to protect her. That's the only thing I can think of.
Are you serious? Whether you know it or not, Becky Lynch is one of your best wrestlers.
I seriously. Sorry.
Sorry. That's just.
Because
that hits me like right here in the soul. I am a huge Becky Lynch fan, and it's like, oh, she's gonna lose to a roll up.
It's a cop out because they want the only way I can see is they're trying to protect her from eating clean pins. At the same time, and they're also trying to pull. They're also trying to pull off. They're also trying to pull off the old age antics of the women's Divas division, not the women's division. The Divas division.
Bye. R.I.P. my girl Becky.
Listen, she deserves better than this, but eventually we'll get Charlotte versus Becky Lynch again, and all will be well. That program will be decent.
This is bad for my girl Becky, man.
Moving onward, we had the champion versus champion match. The first one of the evening, which was The Miz versus Baron Corbin. I would say it wasn't terrible, but...
I'm going to say this now. We talked about this match for like 5 seconds, and we knew it immediately.
Well, the ending was going to be obvious.
Oh, no. Baron Corbin had to win. There's no question about it. He had to win. If he didn't win, it was like, oh, Baron Corbin's already irrelevant as hell. Like, honestly.
You're completely correct. The thing is, like, Miz can eat a loss because he can garnish so much heat that he will never fade away.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin, he has to win to be relevant.
Yeah, he's already not relevant, to be fair, Chris. I'm so sorry about this.
You know that makes me upset. Like, I'm one of those few people that I actually hate Baron Corbin for what he does. He's more talented than people give him credit for. I wouldn't say he's the most talented on the roster, but he's not a hack job. He knows how to wrestle. He knows how to work with people. He has to be given a good program.
Yeah, he's just kind of...
a
He's
good
just like
rivalry.
simple.
Honestly, he needs a solid rivalry.
Rivalry with Mr. Glorious himself.
Honestly, it would work out for both of them. Because even if Rude loses that feud, Rude has enough. I guess he's not even a heel anymore because everyone's cheering for him. I'm trying
Rude
to
is not losing that feud, bro.
Because the thing is, like, I don't know. Because the thing is, like, his character is so heelish, but everyone cheers for him that it's hard to even know what they're gonna do with him anymore.
Yeah.
But honestly, either way, he still gets a reaction from anyone anytime he walks out. Like, his entrance is probably one of the most over entrances. Like, no matter what, it's always everyone's singing around. Just like how Nakamura's entrance is over as all hell. Except the only problem I have with Nakamura's entrance is that
epilepsy fit, hypo.
My eyes are a little bit photosensitive, so
it's legit. I cannot look as interested anymore. It makes me feel like I'm gonna have an epileptic fit every time.
Yeah, Yo, I mean, which would you rather do? Watch Nakamura's entrance for a whole hour, like that light show for a whole hour, or watch 5 minutes of Porygon Soldier? You know that.
Nakamura.
Because, yo,
definitely Nakamura.
The difference, I was about to say, the only difference is at least Nakamura's entrance hasn't sent anyone to the hospital yet.
Yeah.
But honestly, all in all, like, I just want something that's actually going to work for Corbin.
Yeah. Oh, I was actually so surprised that Maurice came back.
So I kind of like tuned back and forth in that match. Maurice came back.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either until I saw the vignette like the next night. Yeah, Maurice came back.
Because I only saw the Miz Taraj.
Yeah, Maurice
is she showing
came back.
Or no?
Yeah, she should be. I don't know. I literally did not watch a single second of that match. I went to go get food, and I came back, and the match was over with.
Because if I was her, I'd just stay home and try to collect leave.
Oh no, that's why. That's why she hasn't been on TV. The same thing that happened with Brie happening to her. They're
having kids, so I mean it makes sense.
Yeah.
But moving onward, because we literally could talk about most of these cards and what they really should be doing for days.
Yep.
So we got the Bar versus the Usos, and honestly, another strong tag team match.
Yep.
This was a strong program.
Yep. And to be honest, in my opinion, the Usos are probably one of the best tag teams in the world right now.
Would you say, like, in all honesty, would you say the world? Like, when you say the world, do you actually mean the world, or just?
Oh no, I legit mean the world. Like, if you look at tag teams on independent scene, everything, New Day is. Usos and New Day are up there.
Because I mean, I was like, you still have Bullet Club, the Elite. You still got.
Oh no, I agree. They're up there for me.
British Strong Style.
Oh no, I do agree. They're up there, but I still think the Usos are up there too. The Usos are for sure, no doubt in my mind, one of the best tag teams in the world right now.
They definitely know what they're doing. That by far. Like I will say the Bar does deserve some credit.
Yes.
Like, the Bar are a good tag team. This is what happens when you put this is one of the WWE experiments where you never know if you put two singles competitors together and you're like, all right, figure out if you guys have chemistry or not. And you know what? They work. It took a little bit. It took a little bit to get it to work, but you know what? It's paying off dividends. I don't see any problems with it.
I think this is probably one of both of their, Cesaro and Sheamus's.
I wouldn't say it's Sheamus's highlight of his career.
No, I would say it's one of the better times of his career because his title runs have been kind of lackluster.
True. I mean, like, but he is like what, a 2 or 3 time WWE champion.
It's a 3-time WWE champion, but most of his title runs haven't been anything to like, oh my god, you had an amazing run. No, he never kind of
Yeah, I mean it's not like an AJ Styles run.
Yeah. So what's the next match?
Yeah. Um. So next one we had Charlotte Flair versus Alexa Bliss.
It
Champion
went
versus
over
champion.
exactly.
It,
Yep,
it
I
it went exactly as I
it,
wanted to, but I like or I shouldn't say it went exactly as I wanted to because I'm very very biased. Um, because
oh no,
I
this went completely how I expected it to, because Alexa played the cowardly heel while Charlotte played one of the best. Like she's the best. Like she knows she's the best because she is one of the best.
oh I
Char-
mean my argument was the fact that I'm very biased for Alexa Bliss, so I wanted Alexa Bliss to come out on top,
uh,
but honestly, like it still was a. I would still say it was a good match. I I look
oh
forward to
no,
them
well,
actually having programs in the future.
yep.
Because I mean, Alexa Bliss, even though everyone says like she can't wrestle, I'm like, you do realize she has probably the highest merch sales of any diva right now. Plus,
Probably.
like there's not a town she goes to that she does not gather heat or
No,
get a
she.
reaction in
I
general.
think she's over. She has like a lot of heat on her, just natural heat. She has a lot of charisma backing her too. But I think yeah, I think Alexa was. It's good.
It's because people don't give like my argument is that they never give her enough credit for what she's capable of.
She did what she does best. Cowardly Hill approved why she's over.
Yeah,
She's over.
it was the best decision for NXT to dump her face gimmick and go straight with heels.
Yeah.
Make the heel turn like that paid dividends. At first, I didn't think it was going to work back when she was in NXT when she was with Blake Murphy and what's his name?
Not Gunner. It's I don't know his name.
It was her boyfriend or fiance, whatever, and the other guy, which they
Yeah,
look like they're related. Honestly, am I wrong?
maybe.
But and like that, as soon as she joined their program, like she got them over, and like
Uh
no
huh.
one can do that. But I, all I can say is that she's gonna go places. Like she will solidify the women's division. But
Yeah.
moving on, we got my personal favorite of the night, which was Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles in a champion versus champion match.
Yep. I'm so glad I went that way, because everyone was saying, this was either going to be a really good long, uh,
It was either going to be a really good, long, drawn out match, or it was going to be a squash match like
squash
Goldberg
match.
and.
Yep, and we got a long drawn out match.
Because,
I would say that the match was not perfect. 'Cause we both know the match was not perfect.
yeah. Oh, I completely agree with you. We discussed there was like maybe one or two botches that were noticeable, but
Yep.
what my only thing that I told you was I'm perfectly fine with the botches because it didn't completely ruin the match.
Yeah.
It was like a heat in the moment kind of thing. It's not like either
I agree
person
with
was
that.
sabotaging.
Yep. AJ
But
had a good showing.
it,
Brock had a good showing, and it made them both look good.
yeah, when I was talking about this match before, like the week or two before it was gonna happen, as soon as it got announced, I said that this was probably gonna be as good as Punk versus Lesnar, if not better. And I think I was completely true with what I said. I don't know if it was better, but it was. I would say it's on par at the very least.
I'm not gonna lie. I typically don't enjoy Lesnar matches personally.
You don't like what kind of matches?
Lesnar matches, me personally, I don't
I
like Brock Lesnar
I
matches.
like Lesnar matches because they're the classic matches. It takes you back to the old style matches of grapple heavy. which that's why originally when it was on paper of Strowman versus Brock Lesnar, I was hyped because that sounded like a really good match, and then it kind of fell flat, which upsetted me a little bit, but whatever. But yeah, I mean, this match was 15 minutes of just like the first 5 to like 7 minutes, I want to say, was just all Lesnar, just suplex, but then just one reversal in the corner, and just immediately AJ Styles just kept going on with strikes, submissions. There was many times of an F5 attempt that would get reversed into. There was one specifically, I think, where it was an F5 reversal into like a tornado DDT or something like that, and that was really lit. And then another F5 reversal into a calf crusher, that was really lit. And then there was the 450 splash, that was nice. He had a couple phenomenal forearms, and then when he tried to hit a final one, he got caught with the F5, the 1, 2, 3. But I mean, it played out how people probably thought it was going to go, but it still lived up to the expectations. And I honestly, like, Styles on Friday, he kind of hinted that that there'll be a rematch down the line. So I can only hope so, because I want to see more. This is like when he versed John Cena. Even though I don't like John Cena matches that much, those two had probably, I think, match of the year in 2016. Like it was what, Royal Rumble 2016, not Royal Rumble.
No, it was Royal Rumble.
No, because he debuted at Royal Rumble though.
No. That was the year over. That's 2015.
Oh, okay, so that was 2016 Royal Rumble. Okay, but like that was an amazing match.
I was gonna say they had like 3 matches last year. They were all really.
That was a really good trilogy though. Like, not one match was bad. But anyhow, we get to the last match.
I personally don't think you can compare the two. I think Brock and AJ was nothing compared to Cena.
Oh, I know it's not. I'm not comparing the rivalries. I'm talking about AJ in general. Okay, of the programs he's been in.
Like AJ being like the workhorse of the company.
He is the workhorse. He's essentially the next John Cena for the SmackDown brand.
Oh no, not even. I wouldn't call him next John. I have a theory about the next.
Really, the next John Cena is Roman Reigns, but that's.
No. I wasn't gonna say that. It's like, the thing is, AJ could be the next John, but he doesn't have much rest. He doesn't have that many years left in him.
Like, when I say the next John Cena, it's more of like he is the face. To steal his phrase, the face that.
Actually, you know who Paul Heyman put it best.
Oh yeah, he's a phenomenal. He's the best person in the globe right now.
He is to this era what Shawn,
Ric Flair, Bret Hart,
all of them were to the WWE in their respective times.
And he took their styles and made it his own. He culminated every single big generation superstar, made their style, put his own flair into it, and just made himself the biggest star in the world. There's not one promotion you won't hear AJ Styles' name in, at least mentioned once, except maybe like the really underground promotions. Like, you might hear him mentioned at PWG, but he will definitely mention PWG. Because I did he go to PWG? Because I thought he only went to I thought he was at a lot of big companies.
No, he even did the Battle of LA, bro.
Oh, I didn't even know he did Battle of LA. Because that was a while ago. That's why I don't remember it.
AJ is he did almost every independent
Mr. Worldwide. Quite literally Mr. Worldwide. That man can wrestle with a blow-up doll and get a 5-star match for Meltzer.
You were not wrong.
So we get into the final match of the night, which was Team Raw of Angle, Strowman, Triple H, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe versus Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Knox, Shane O'Mac, Orton, and John Cena. And it happened.
Yep.
We had a match.
I didn't care.
But I mean, I did like how Strowman eliminated Rude, Nakamura, and Orton. That man is a monster. They played Strowman perfectly. Like, I think Strowman, in all honesty, was the shining star of that match. And then Angle got the elimination on Cena. Cena eliminated Joe, and Balor got eliminated by Orton. Triple H pedigree, and then so that was basically the whole majority meat and potatoes of the match. Then we get to the last not even 5 minutes of the match, where it's just Shane McMahon, and it's now Angle, Strowman, and Triple H versus Shane. And now we have Shane's just looking scared as all hell, and then Angle's in the middle of the ring, and Triple H just looks at Angle, pedigrees Angle, drags Shane across Angle's body, and the ref counts to 3, and now you just see Triple H standing by Shane, trying to pick him up, and Strowman just looks at both of them like, what the hell is going on? Like, he's confused, but at the same time enraged. And then Triple H is like, oh, you feeling okay, Shane? And then just pedigree Shane for the 1, 2, 3. Which I kind of saw it coming that Triple H was going to somehow backstab Angle. So that's how Raw ended up winning with Strowman and Triple H as the sole survivors. And my favorite part of that whole match was the ending, where after Triple H was trying to celebrate with Strowman, Strowman grabs Triple H by the neck, chokes him out in the corner, and screams at him saying, how dare you try to fucking play me, and then power slams him twice in the middle of the ring, and the show closes out.
Oh, I know the reason why that happened, though.
What's up?
Because the whole Hurt Triple H thing, people are not too confident in it.
On what?
Hurt versus Triple H at Mania.
People aren't confident on it?
People don't want it. People don't want it.
I mean, the thing is, I would like that program. In all honesty, I understand people not wanting it. It's just my personal opinion. I wouldn't mind it.
A lot of people don't want it, so that's why they set up potentially Brock. I mean, not Brock,
Braun
but
versus Triple H.
Yeah.
Yo, I mean, it gets Strowman over. Like, I honestly believe Triple H will not win that match. There's no way in hell.
Oh my gosh, about it.
Yo, I just watch. I want it to be one of those extreme matches. Like, I think Strowman functions the best when there are no rules in a match. Like, cause I'm just gonna go on a small mini rant and then we'll continue. With Strowman, as soon as, if they decide to do, let's just say, I don't know, a street fight, you can have that man power slam him through, I don't know, the production truck, or some sort of like crazy spot that just instantly is like, just gets him match of the night just for Spot Fest 2018. But that was my very mini rant. But anyhow, then we get to Monday Night Raw, which the first match of the night was Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor, and nothing special about it. It's just they're a traditional program. Balor ended up losing by submission, which he didn't tap out. I believe it was a pass out.
Yep, he got choked out.
Yeah, it's still a win by submission, though. It's not a TKO.
Yep.
There's only been, I think, one TKO victory in the past 10 years, and that was Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton. And the match was brutal. That ending was just like, please, God, for the love of God, he's already dead. Orton just bleeding half his skull out on the canvas. That was just unsettling to watch. But next match was Asuka versus Dana Brooke, and as always, Asuka won. There's really not much to talk about that match, to be honest. And then the next match was Sheamus versus Dean Ambrose, and it was aight.
Yeah.
And then we had a #1 contendership match for the women's title, which was really before that match there was actually a promo from Alexa Bliss basically saying how none of those four deserved a title shot because she's beaten literally every single one of them. And I think even if she didn't have programmed at Fox, like, she kind of just like laughed off Alicia Fox, like, yeah, okay. Since when have you done anything successful? And then as she's walking away, Angle's like, you know what, you're right. It's like you're right about your title, but if you say you're a fighting champion, we're gonna decide a #1 contender tonight, and they're having he announces the fatal 4-way. What?
As a really random side note that just popped up for me, right?
Okay.
I really want the Stephen Amell Bullet Club shirt. I really do.
Yo, nice inside advertising for yo, please, Stephen Amell sponsor us.
True. No, he has a Vigilante Club shirt. That's the Green Arrow for because he wrestled with the Bullet Club.
Yo, that's fucking hot as hell.
Yeah, he wrestled with Bullet Club while they were in San Antonio this weekend. It was Stephen Amell, Cody, the Bucks, and Kenny versus Flip Gordon and the team. He had some good spot. I want this shirt.
Is Amell trying to actually get into wrestling?
He actually has. He had a match against Stardust.
I know
a couple years ago.
I know he had a match in WWE, but what my question was more pertaining to is he actually trying to get onto the scene and make it like a side career? Because I mean, he's making money with Green Arrow. Yeah, no.
The thing is, he makes money from the Green Arrow. He has movies he's working on. He has other shit he's working on. The thing is, he doesn't want to wrestle. It's just this is something he has. Like, he's really good friends with Cody because
he's got a knack for it. I'll say, yeah, he has a knack for it.
Yeah, if he wants to go into wrestling school, do like a year or two of wrestling school, he could potentially have a good career. I think. I
honestly think, like, if let's just say he decided to show up to developmental center, I honestly think
the thing is, he even has something that a lot of people don't. A lot of people, if he has connections.
Yes.
Because him and Cody are really good friends. Cody is even a villain on Arrow. Once a season we see Cody as a villain on Arrow,
which that's actually really cool. Like, we've even had Edge as a villain on Arrow, and that was lit.
Yeah, and then you also have he's good friends with the Young Bucks. Kenny is a huge. I found out Kenny is a huge fan of Stephen Amell.
I think they're gonna make him an actual like an honorary member. Of the club.
Yo, for sure he has a shirt called the Vigilante Club. He's already an honorary member of the Bullet Club.
Like he's gonna end up being shown on the fucking Young Bucks show.
Yep. They already confirmed it. The next episode of Being the Elite is gonna have Stephen Amell all over it because.
Yo, I mean, that's gonna make them probably the most money, like the most YouTube money.
For sure. Okay, back on track.
Back on track with so it led into the Fatal 4 with Bayley, Sasha Banks, Mickie James, Fox, and so the match was going on. Whatever, about 9 minutes in, you hear a very familiar music. You hear a bird. You hear a bird, and it's none other than Paige. And for some reason, she looks hotter than ever.
Yep, she's a great white. I still say this. We should get Jack Gallagher and Sheamus start a tag team called the Great Whites and have Paige be their manager.
Yo, I'm fine with this. Yo, she is the porcelain princess. Not even a lie. But
And so she
so
comes down the ramp. Seems like, oh, she'll get into it. And out of nowhere, who was it?
well, well,
Shayna Baszler.
no. It's not that. It wasn't that. Like it wasn't Shayna, but like first she drew out all like she waited maybe about 5 to 8 like not like maybe 5 minutes to actually continue to that. Like she was just like, oh, did you miss me? Blah blah, and kind of just playing with everyone's emotions. And she's like, oh, I came here, but I didn't come alone. And just starts walking to the ring, and you only see the camera focused on her for about a minute or two, and then pans straight to the back of the ring, where it's Mandy
Shayna
Rose
Bla-
and Deville.
Oh, Sonya
Sonya
Deville.
Deville.
Sonya Deville. That's her name. Sonya Deville and fucking.
And they just
Mandy
pick
Rose.
apart everyone in the ring.
Yeah.
And this almost is going to feel like a women's Shield. I think.
Like,
it's going to be a new faction.
It pretty much is Women's Revolution 2.0.
I just hope this leads to good things. I don't want this to die fast.
I think Mandy Rose has potential because, in particular, WWE signed Mandy Rose because she has a very remarkable resemblance to a legend in WWE.
Alundra Blaze?
No, Trish.
I could see it in maybe moveset style, but like that's it.
No. Think about it. Blonde bombshell. Trish.
I know, but I'm saying Alundra Blaze was also a blonde bombshell too.
Okay, yes. I would say more modern times Trish.
Okay, that's fair then.
And then you have Sonya Deville, who has this weird MMA style too. Yes, ma'am. Alright, I'll be back.
So I'll carry from here. It's the thing is with Sonya Deville is yes, she has an MMA style, but it's not like it's a bad thing because it adds more variety to the program where Sonya Deville is she's adding more to the program instead of everything. Sure, it's all punches and kicks. There's no diving, whatever. But you can put her in certain matches where people can be diving, and it adds more content to the match. And just like Shayna Baszler has, she's also MMA style, but Shane also pulls it off a lot better. If the Cruiserweight Classic wasn't telling of that, which it very well was. This leads to good things for Shayna Baszler. I really do. And I mean, why is just say leads to good things for Shayna Baszler? I meant Sonya Deville. I hope it leaves good things for Sonya Deville. Mandy Rose, I can see this being good for her. I just want this faction to actually work. I don't want it to end up dying fast and then going nowhere, because they all have potential. Even if they don't immediately get the title off, like even if they don't immediately get any of them get the title, at least Paige should be front and center, where she's essentially the organizer of the group. And as long as she can get a program with Alexa Bliss, and if Paige wins the title, that works great for Paige. The only problem is since Asuka's on Raw now, it's going to be hard for anyone really to get a title, because as soon as Asuka wins the title, the only way Asuka can lose a title is if there's a fatal 4-way match, or quite literally like some shenanigans, really, like where it's like, oh, if you get DQ'd, you'll lose the title. And
yep.
Did you hear anything I said or no?
Nope, but I heard DQ win title.
Okay, so to catch you up, because I just went on mini explanation of how I felt about Sonya Deville, and because you talked about the MMA style, and basically I said that she's strictly MMA, but it still adds more to the program because you can add her with someone who's high flying, and you get more of a contrast in style. Because like Shayna Baszler, is the same thing, and she shined beautifully in the classic. But and I was saying how none of the three have to get a title now. Is obviously going to get the title like within maybe the next.
If one of the three wants to get the title soon, it would be Paige.
It would be Paige, but I'm saying like it doesn't. As long as Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose stay looking strong, it's fine. They don't need a title as long as they look fine. And honestly, I kind of want a tag title for the women's division, because now they're starting to add more and more women into the division.
Nope. If we get nope.
I know you're going to disagree with me, but that's how I feel.
I'm going to say this now. If we get a tag title for anything, we should get a tag title for NXT over women's.
NXT? You mean 205 Live?
That one. Yeah, that one.
I was about to say, have you been doing drugs again, Conscious?
Don't worry about it.
But honestly, because here's the problem that I saw with Paige winning the title. Asuka's on Raw. So the only way I see this happening, if Paige wins the title, there has to be another superstar switch up where Asuka goes to SmackDown and Paige can stay champion on Raw.
Oh no! Paige and Asuka will fight eventually, and Paige's gonna lose to Asuka.
I know, it's a fact, like, because once Asuka wins the championship, the only way Asuka can lose the championship is if it's a fatal 4-way or a DQ count out BS.
Oh no, she will eventually have that losing streak go away.
I know, but personally, I feel like they shouldn't pull the trigger fast. They need to extend.
They're not. It's gonna be like a year or two before she loses it.
You remember? You know how long EC3's undefeated streak was?
Like a year and a half, 2 years.
3. EC3's streak was about 3 years. I mean,
it's gonna end at about the 4-year mark, and it's gonna be a huge match.
It's got to at least be something that's worth the investment. Because if you're gonna take her, if you're honestly, I could see 2 people taking a win over her. Only 2 right now. But they're NXT.
Charlotte? No. Charlotte could potentially win it.
Well, I was going to say Ember Moon and Kairi Sane. Those 2 can... Like, Asuka doesn't lose anything from losing from them.
No, she can... I see her and... who is it? Her and
You said Charlotte, but I don't agree with that decision. Personally. Because I personally feel like the program with Ember Moon and Asuka, it shows that they are perfect rivals.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I honestly feel like Ember Moon, she could afford like, Asuka can take a loss to Ember Moon, and it won't hurt Asuka. It will only elevate Ember Moon more. And even if she ate a loss to Kairi Sane is ridiculously talented too.
We kind of gotta speed this up because I kind of have to eat dinner shit soon.
I gave you enough time to eat beforehand. So moving on, we had Strowman versus Jason Jordan, which ended in a no contest. Which also, it's imminent that Jason Jordan is turning heel, because throughout the match he was using faking injuries and being a whiny little bitch.
No. That was the sell story. That was the tell story.
Well, a heel turn being imminent is part of a story.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, Kane came out and attacked Strowman with a chair, and eventually, like, I think he did a spot where it was either a straight chair shot to the throat or it was the next spot.
No, he put the chair on his throat and he slammed his throat into the steps.
Okay, that's what I thought it was.
Yep.
and Strowman, he wasn't like rushed to the back or whatever. He was on his own 2 feet, but he was clearly gasping for air. So eventually we'll get
later
that
on. Then later on, there's like, okay.
Yeah, that man can't stop, won't stop. It literally takes a garbage truck for that man to leave an arena. So the next match was kind of non-important. It was Swan, Cedric Alexander, Kira Tozawa, and Mustafa Ali versus Tony Nese, Noam Dar, Arya Davari, and Drew Gulak.
Zotre versus everyone else.
Yes, that you know what? That's probably so much easier to just say from now on instead of all the
damn Zotre versus everyone else.
The Zotrain versus the whole cruiserweight division.
Pretty much, and the Zotrain lost.
Yeah, it was a missable match.
But before we get into, I'm just gonna say it now. We're skipping 205 Live, and pretty much all we got on 205 Live was the results of the bullshit. So the Zotrain lost, and this week Zotrain had a bunch of one-on-one matches with everyone else, lost them and got mad, attacked everyone else, blah blah blah, leading to something else bullshit down the road. Okay,
yeah, it wasn't worth watching considering I couldn't see my 205 Live PowerPoint presentation because everyone was chanting for it and we never got it. I was so upset. But anyways, so the final match of the night was The Miz versus Roman Reigns for the Intercontinental Championship.
I thought the whole match was fine.
Cool. I mean, it's not a bad program. Miz is a good worker. I feel like sometimes he doesn't get enough praise for what he does. But like he in the ring, he's not as good as when he's on the mic. He's naturally gifted as a promo artist.
And we got the inevitable.
Yeah,
our
Roman
boy,
Reigns is the IC
Super
title
Roman.
holder. He's now, and then that basically means we're going to be getting the Shield 2.0 officially with Seth and Dean winning the titles probably at like Royal Rumble.
And then we're gonna see it's turn, blah blah blah. The Shield's upset. Blah, blah, blah.
The thing is, like, if they're gonna give us a Shield, like, don't cuck us with turns. If they're gonna turn anyone, just turn Roman, please, or Dean.
They're gonna turn Dean. The people, everyone was speculating that they're gonna turn Dean.
I know, but it's just like I don't want the same. I don't want the same play out every single time.
I guess whatever.
Because I didn't wait 3 years just to feel cucked.
They're gonna bring him eventually.
I know, bullshit. But I don't want to wait every 3 years just to find the Shield is back.
No, they're not gonna. I think like after this time, I think we're not getting another Shield reunion, to be honest.
Which is kind of dumb because I like them as the Shield. Like, it's the only time I can actually tolerate Roman Reigns.
The thing is, I think they'll like making the Shield right now was good for all their careers because personally, what was Dean and Seth doing really before
they were
the
doing
Shield?
Nothing. They weren't in any good programs, so this actually gave them something to do.
Yep. And so once the Shield thing's up, they let the Shield thing happen again. Let all three men. We got Dean and Seth something to do, and Roman's actually getting a little bit of non-heat for once. So
this is the only time he's not actually being booed out of the arena.
Yeah. So
it's going to change at Mania. You know it's going to change at Mania.
I don't know for sure.
But because that's the thing. The way I see it going though, just. Once they disband, it's probably going to be a superstar shakeup, and Seth Rollins is going to end up going to SmackDown. Which I really want to happen. I really do.
Maybe.
Hey, listen, we get AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins. I see no problems with that match.
I don't see a problem with the match. It's just, like I said, maybe. It might see that.
Well, because we already had Dean Ambrose go over there. Why send him back?
No. Because... if they send Seth over, it won't be till after Mania because they got to do Seth versus Dean. Oh no, it wouldn't be then. It'll be way after that because they got to do Seth versus Dean rivalry. Building up to after Mania, that build after Mania, and then
it's probably gonna be after like SummerSlam that they'll do a shake up.
Yeah, maybe.
But moving on
so
with the week
now
is SmackDown.
you're on
So
SmackDown.
it was the show opener was just a promo with Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn, where Shane was just basically saying like, "Oh, how dare you betray SmackDown?" Blah blah blah, and they're like, "Hey, you know what? You tell us to kind of fuck off every week, so you know what? You deserved it." And he's like, "You know what? I got a better idea. You're fat," and then Daniel Bryan's music hits. And then Daniel Bryan's like, "I got a better idea. Let's not fire them, but instead let's put him in a lumberjack match against the New Day."
Yep, which I was excited for. I like the.
It was pretty steady hype. Not even gonna lie.
I always enjoy a New Day match, and
I mean, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, their current program works perfect. This is ROH.
Yep.
So the next we got Jey Uso versus Shelton Benjamin. Decent match. I had no gripes with it.
We got more hints at heel Gable.
Yeah,
Gable.
I see Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin turning, but it's not going to be a hard turn. I think it's going to be closer to a tween / a lean towards heel, but I don't think they're going to go full heel. Like they're going to pull an Uso.
I agree.
But so the next thing we got was a backstage segment, which first like it zoomed on Naomi, and then you see out of the corner 3 NXT superstars come into the picture: Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan. And honestly, but I will say it felt like a repeat of the night before, but it felt better for the reason that this attack, first they attack Naomi, and then she's unconscious. Then Becky Lynch comes running out. She gets like maybe 2 seconds of actual offense in, and then gets slammed into a side barrier, and just she's tossed over tables. Freaking Liv Morgan picks up a table and throws it at Becky Lynch. I'm like, that's awesome.
And then I love Becky,
slams,
but her ribs into the door.
The door got slammed into her ribs. I'm like, this is the most savage beatdown I've seen in any women's division.
Actually, I very much enjoyed that.
Like, honestly, like, it didn't feel as an exact carbon copy of the night before. It felt a lot more brutal and a larger impact.
Yep.
Which, I mean, the thing is, because Ruby Riott's not as big of a name as Paige, so I could see why. Because also, no one really cared about Liv Morgan or Sarah Logan, so I could see why they want to try to make a bigger impact, because they can't just go off their names. But it was just beautiful. So, moving on, we had the squashiest of squash matches of the Hype Bros, Rip in Peace, Zack Ryder, versus the Bludgeon Brothers. And within the first,
I'm personally a fan of the Bludgeon Brothers. I don't know why. I like it. I don't know what it is.
I'll give the gimmick time before I give any criticisms.
I do think they need a new finisher, though. They do definitely need a new finisher.
A new one, yes, I will agree. Their current one looks
it's very weird. I didn't like it.
Literally, the first maybe 30 seconds of the match, Zack Ryder's just taken out completely. He's dead. And then Mojo Rawley's like, "Oh, what do I do now?" And then you just see Eric Rowan just like, "You're dead." Okay, pins the man, kills the man, and then tags in, or I don't know how many. They did so many tags, it was hard to tell who was even legal anymore.
Yeah.
And then their finisher is an aided Razor's Edge.
Yeah.
Which
it's very weird.
It's very awkward.
Yeah, I think they could do so much better with a finisher for them. They need to rethink what they want to do for a finisher on them, because they need a better finisher.
Because the way I see it is, so you know how there's Luke Harper does the discus boot.
Yeah.
Then I was thinking, what if he used the discus boot with Eric Rowan kind of doing what like the Authors of Pain does, with kind of like either a Russian leg sweep and just like do a double impact like that.
No, there's so much they can do because Luke Harper is such an athletic person for a guy his size.
The man's what, like 6'6" or like in
Yeah,
250 pounds.
he can fucking fly. He can do the most. I love Luke Harper.
He's programmed to Dean Ambrose. He was always flying through the middle rope, and it's like that man doesn't have to do that, but he does it anyway.
No, yeah, for sure. He puts his body on the line, which realistically he doesn't have to, but he does it because he's a performer.
Yo, even like his sit-out powerbomb he does, that I think that's one of his most impressive moves he has, besides his discus boot. And his super kicks. The man super kicks.
Kicks are fucking vicious. I love it.
I think he has probably one of the most strongest super kicks in the game.
I really love Luke Harper. When I first saw Luke Harper, I was like, okay, I get it. The guy has potential, and then he just kind of took over my heart.
And I'm really hoping this, as much as I know you don't care about Eric Rowan, I want this to at least be something good for Eric Rowan.
Oh no, I don't care about Eric Rowan. It's just I feel like from what he had with the Wyatt family, he was kind of limited in my opinion. Like he felt like of the Wyatt family, he was the one that was the most irrelevant.
Yeah.
Of the Wyatts, didn't really have it's like we had Braun, just a big guy, crushed it. You had Luke, the big guy who could fly, who could move, he can work, he is good. You had Bray, the leader. Bray could move, he had the gimmick behind him and everything. Then you had Eric Rowan.
Who had nothing.
Eric Rowan, yeah.
I
think
yeah.
I think this is good for him. Hopefully this gives him an opportunity to give him some character development and make him really shine. That's what I want.
Yeah, that I will agree that I think this gimmick will actually get him a chance to actually shine as a competitor. Like,
yeah,
I really hope this works.
I think this is good. This is good. And honestly, hopefully this leads to them being the big tag team of the division, and hopefully it gives Luke. I personally think Luke Harper was a great mid-card talent as it is, but hopefully we could see them in some programs with the New Day or the Usos, and they put on some great matches. That's what I'm hoping.
Honestly, and if if for some reason, let's just say this doesn't work out, I want to see Luke Harper actually enter the heavyweight scene again.
Oh, I do too. Yes,
because
I love Luke Harper.
Think him and AJ Styles can put up one hell of a program for everybody.
Oh, I do. Because like I said, like it's always been said, some of the best matches are the big guys versus the little guys, because the little guys can just flop around all over the place and just sell like the big guy being strong.
Because what's funny though is whenever you see a big guy do like a high flying move, it's more impressive than you see a 205 Live competitor do it.
Agreed.
Because it's just like, oh, Braun. It's like, imagine seeing. I'm sure you wouldn't be the only one shitty. And I.
Like literally, we thought Brock hitting a shooting star press was weird. Braun, bro, yo, he's gonna die. He's gonna die, guys.
What I'm gonna do when I'm probably gonna do this weekend is I'm gonna end up editing my Braun Strowman on my 2K18, and I'm gonna have him as his finisher to be the shooting star press.
Oh god, he's gonna die. Braun's gonna break his fucking neck.
Oh my god, that'd be beautiful.
Okay.
But moving on, we had Natalya versus Charlotte for the women's title.
It was a match.
And
then the same thing happened this week. The three women who attacked.
Yeah, it went to a no contest with Ruby assaulting Natalya first, taking her out, and then they had a shield-like attack where they completely surrounded the ring and just overwhelmed Charlotte, and each member hit their respective finisher on Charlotte.
Yep.
which
This is
I'm really hoping that this is going to start a revival of the women's division on, and I should specify, both the invasions. I hope they start a revival for the women's division because it is getting stale.
I agree.
Because like I think Ruby Riott and almost anyone that's on the current roster will have a good program.
Yes, I agree.
Like, but I will say she's not the strongest competitor. I was not the biggest fan of her on NXT, but I understand how she can attract the fans.
Yeah.
Because she's like literally the biggest underdog I've ever seen.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what these women do.
I can see good programs in the way. I can see her actually challenging Charlotte at Clash of Champions.
Yeah.
But moving on for the last match, which was Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the New Day in a lumberjack match.
Yep. It went over well. We had the typical lumberjack thing. All the lumberjacks attacked each other. Blah blah blah. Setting up feuds, which potentially we're gonna see Bobby versus
Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin, yeah. And we had a bunch of.
That's gonna be lit. Not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's gonna.
We had a bunch of other bullshit happen as well, which I'm not mad at. I'm not mad at.
And then we got the heel win with Sami Zayn getting the roll up on Kofi for the 1-2-3, and Owens is kind of just like, "Yo, we gotta go now." And they're trying to rush out. Owens is able to get away, but not Sami Zayn.
Fucking the New Day went full on shield. They surrounded Kevin. They surrounded Sami, and they went in on Sami.
They had a freaking rebound, Trouble in Paradise, and in Midnight Hour to kill him. And even though Big Boy Ruru and fucking Aiden English were trying there to make assistance, that they helped for literally about 5 seconds.
Yep, and then the New Day did the New Day, and which I honestly think this is something good for the New Day.
Well, when's something not good for the New Day, honestly?
No, but in particular, I think this shows like they can do something like, oh, we're tired of it. We always give people slack, blah blah blah. No more taking people shit. Like, have them still be the fun loving guys, but then have them like, you screw us over, we'll come after you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. I completely agree.
Because literally, it was like the reason for this thing is because Sami and them screwed them over. They left them hanging during the Raw invasion, and they thought it was cool. So screw us over, we come after you.
And it wasn't just the Raw invasion; so it was just everything.
Yeah. Screw up stuff we're in. We fuck with you.
Exactly. Yeah. So that closed out SmackDown, and then we have NXT.
205 Live. Yeah, we skipped 205 Live. Shut up.
Yeah, we skipped 205 Live. And then we got NXT, which was like a whole 2 matches because everything else was just vignettes and interviews. There was one interview with Drew McIntyre. He was basically talking about his bicep injury. He's like, he doesn't know the severity of it. But at the same time, since these interviews are pre-taped, it was pre-taped like the night of TakeOver.
Yeah, the Saturday.
Yeah. So, for all we know, we'll probably be getting actual medical updates within the coming days.
Yeah, I predicted honestly like 3 or 4 months out with it. If he at worst, I think it's 3 to 4 months. I think it
depends. It really depends on how the severity of the injury is. Because if it's a bicep injury, we don't know if it's a tear or... Because if it's a tear, it could be pretty bad.
I just wish Drew the best. Hopefully he gets well soon.
Hopefully. He was essentially going to be the backbone of NXT, and now we got Andrade Cien Almas. Nobody asked for this.
Which, like I told you, he's going to be feed to Adam Cole, baby.
But again, I said nobody asked for this.
Let him feed to Adam Cole, baby.
Baby. So we had 2 matches on this week's NXT, which was pre-taped for the actual show of War Games. It was Ruby Riott versus Sonya Deville. It was both their unfinished business match of NXT, which Ruby Riott went over. This match was actually pretty decent. I know Conscious wasn't able to watch it,
Nope.
I made sure I stuck around.
I read over like the notes for the show and shit. So
Yeah, I think there may have been like a couple more. Like there might have been one match I missed out on, but the notes I looked at, there was only 2 shows. It was all like I know it was all vignettes and interviews the whole night. But I mean, Ruby Riott and Sonya Deville, it was a decent match. With Riott getting a win over, which is nice, and it makes sense considering she has to lead a faction now. You don't want Sonya Deville, who's now technically a lackey, to win over a leader, but
the right person won the match.
Exactly. In the last match of the night, which was Pete Dunne versus Johnny Gargano in the UK title match, and it was obviously, considering there's only 2 matches of the night, it would be match of the night, but
funny enough, I had a conversation with some people about that. They did smart having it on NXT because it probably would have stole the show.
Oh yeah, no, I was actually about to go on and say it felt like an actual takeover match. It didn't feel like an NXT match. It felt like it belonged on the card. Like it felt like if you took out. So here's the way I see it: if you could replace one match, literally swap Cassius Ohno and Lars Sullivan and put that on the pre-show, or essentially what was the pre-show because it was pre-taped before it, but you know what I mean. And then have the UK title match as the opener for War Games. That would have been a lot better. And honestly, it would have made War Games overall a lot better of a show.
Oh, no, sure.
Yeah, but Pete Dunne, Johnny Gargano, they're 2 excellent workers. I can't praise them enough. It was just reversal spots galore of just technical wrestling. One good spot of I liked, which I mean it's not technically technical, but Johnny Gargano locks in the Gargano escape, and Pete Dunne, to fight out of it, he bites the fingers of Johnny Gargano, which I thought was really creative.
Like I'm gonna say, they call him Johnny Wrestling for a reason.
Exactly. It was just a fantastic match. I highly suggest to go watch it because it's better than a majority of the card on War Games. Oh, well, actually, would I argue majority?
I would argue the one match I would argue is the Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream match.
Well, thing is, I didn't say all matches. I said majority.
Okay, yeah. That match was so fucking good.
I still will say that the match I think of the week may have been Black versus Dream.
I so enjoyed that match. I've watched it probably 2 or 3 times now, and every time I watch it, it still's good.
You know what I kind of wish they allowed the wrestlers to do is use both rings, no matter what match they were in. They could go between the rings.
Oh no, they were swapping back and forth the rings between matches. You know that, that, right?
No, I know. Like one match would take place in one ring, the other one would take place in the other. What I'm saying is, I wish in one match you can still have the ongoing match in the other. Like you could. That would have
been weird.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting. Like it'd set up different spots. I could see certain spots being done, which would be kind of lit.
Like in particular, Johnny Gargano's slingshot spear between the rings would have been really nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you see how it can work very well.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, overall for this whole week, I'd say it was a strong week for wrestling in general.
I think 205 Live, that's a live NXT, like always had the best week of wrestling, like always.
Yeah, because like the thing is, because creative there is so good. They know, like they don't have creative working on the wrestlers; they're working with the wrestlers. The wrestlers are essentially making their own personas, and going up to them and saying, hey, I want to do this, and creative will tell them, all right, we're going to try to put you in a program with this person, and we're going to let you guys do your thing. You do what you want to do, you work it out between you two, and that's it. Like, this is old school
Yeah.
indie style booking of, all right, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. You figure out what you want to put on in the middle. NXT will always be the shining star of WWE. That flat out saying that now. 'Cause
No,
once you move up-
I would disagree. Actually, you know when it's gonna change. Actually, legit, I know when it's gonna change.
if you're really gonna argue 205 Live for Ricochet,
No. I was not gonna make that argument at all. I'm gonna argue when Vince leaves.
yeah, but Vince will never die. I mean, that man's immortal.
No. He doesn't have to die. When he gives up running the day-to-day out, gives up running WWE and lets Hunter do it,
You realize,
then
like,
we will.
the thing is, like, McMahon is so full of pride, he would never leave.
He will eventually have to leave Vince.
As much as we want him to leave, he won't. Just because,
Fuck out,
one,
Vince.
he likes money, and two, I'll give the man credit. He built an empire, and
So much more money if Hunter's in charge.
he would, but you know what?
To be honest, you know what's stopping Vince from being a billionaire?
Himself.
Vince, yeah, I was like, Vince is stopping himself from being a billionaire.
You know what's...
he,
I was about to say, you know what's would make WWE so much more enjoyable to watch?
what?
Besides not Vince, pyrotechnics.
True. But like I was saying, Vince. The thing is, Vince doesn't even have to go full hands off. What he can do is, I know the crowd still gets a huge pop every once in a while when he comes up on the main roster shit. Do that, Vince. Just back off. Let Hunter run everything.
Honestly, whenever he, like, the thing is, I like when he comes to main roster, like on the. Whenever he comes to Raw, it's always a big night because you know something big is gonna get announced. Like, he will always come around about WrestleMania season because he's gonna hype up something.
I don't mind him coming. That's the thing.
It's
I just would like,
don't have him be high-handed on everything.
yes, don't have him running stuff behind the scenes. Let Hunter run it.
Yeah, I will definitely agree with you on that.
Because, like, to be fair, look at what he's done with NXT. You let him run shit in NXT, and it's probably one of your best shit.
It is. I completely agree with you.
It draws the crowd every time it's on. Arguably, every big pay-per-view. Oh, I forgot to mention this. I forgot something in the news.
Which was?
We now have 5 dual branded pay-per-views next year.
I found out Money in the Bank is one of them.
Yes, that's what I was going to mention. Money in the Bank is now a dual branded pay-per-view.
But does that mean they're going to have 2 briefcases, or they're only going to have 1?
I think it's going to be 2 separate Money in the Bank matches.
Okay, see, that's what I wanted to happen for this year. But
we got women's and men's, yeah. Personally,
now this makes more sense.
I would like. So actually, that's actually good. That means we're more likely going to get another NXT show this year.
Well, they always do. They always do quarterly though.
No. The thing is, bro, they should really consider doing an NXT show. You know why?
Why?
You know where Money in the Bank is this year?
Please tell me it's not Chicago.
Oh, it's Chicago.
Oh
it's
Chicago.
Chicago.
It's Chicago.
NXT Takeover Chicago.
Oh, you're kidding me.
I am not lying. I thought it was Chicago. I was like, you have to give us the NXT show.
Watch, just to spite us all, Punk comes and arrives at NXT Chicago.
And you remember, the last time we were in the Chicago for Money in the Bank, we had Cena versus Punk. Punk took the title and walked away.
I swear to God, if Punk just walks in and be like, yo, what's up, guys? I'd be like, I'm done. I quit WWE.
Actually, you know what Punk is? There's a high chance that Punk could be in the Bullet Club, bro.
Yeah, I know. He gets, quote-unquote, harassed by the Young Bucks.
Oh
saying, like, yo,
no. Is that quote unquote? No. Nick has confirmed.
I know he confirmed it. I say quote unquote harassed because it my wording is harassed, but it's I don't know how Phil views it. But basically,
literally, like almost every time they talk to him, Matt
he's like, "Yo, you want to join the Bullet Club, dude?"
Yeah, no. They try to convince him so often. Hey, come back, join the Bullet Club.
Well, he said like, yeah, if I ever go back to wrestling, that you guys are my first call.
Oh yeah, I totally believe him on that one. CM Punk and Bullet Club,
honestly,
bro.
CM Punk will make New Japan so much fucking money.
Is that fuck New Japan? He would make Bullet Club just the biggest thing in the world.
Well, because technically, Bullet Club is as much as it draws out to also ROH. The biggest formation of Bullet Club is New Japan. Unless they also put them on ROH shows. But either way, both brands will make a crap ton of money.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because as soon as you advertise Punk for a pay-per-view, everyone's like, here's my money.
Bullet Club is full life.
But, all in all, trying to kind of wrap up this whole week. It was a solid week. I actually am looking forward to what they're going to... with a lot of questions, at least even with the factions. It's going to be... Is
this an actual faction, or was this just a one-off thing?
From what I've been reading, it sounds like a faction. Dave Meltzer, it sounds like he's been saying that it's more likely to be a faction.
Huh?
So I'm thinking it's going to end up being a faction. If it's not, then I'm not entirely surprised that if it's not a faction, but it just feels like that. Because one of the two is going to be a faction. At least one of the two.
Yeah.
Because Liv Morgan can't survive on her own. Sarah Logan can't survive on her own. So Ruby Riott has to lift them up. Paige, she can kind of really tell them both to kind of screw off if she wants to.
Yeah.
But that's all on her. But that's going to do for this week. Thank you all for stopping by and listening in. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do what you do. And we'll catch you guys next week.